Well, I can hear you. You can hear me.
Absolutely.
Well, welcome back, guys. Again, I apologize for the time in between episodes. Now, episode 8 and episode 7. Life has been a little bit busy, but we are back.
We are here.
We are here.
New setup.
Yep, new. Yeah, as you can see, for those of you who watch on YouTube, we are here with a new setup. We have moved it officially down into my studio because my other best friend Mike is going to take that room, and so we're going with an entirely new setup here, and I'm excited. The vision is going to be great.
Yes.
I know it's a white wall for now, but it will not be a white wall forever. But welcome back, guys, to episode number 8 of the 7 on 7 podcast. And today I have Liana.
Yes.
Or 64.
Liana, 64.
What's your IG handle?
Okay, my IG handle. Well, I have like 10 IG handles. I feel like, but
you have. Oh, so you're a multiple IG handle type of person.
Well, a little bit, yeah. But my art IG handle is 60 star. My actual IG handle is just like
your name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's actually funny. I literally met her. I don't know what 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
My
like
roommate
that.
Zeke brought her over. You guys what? Didn't you guys work at Jamba Juice?
We worked at Jamba Juice.
Jamba Juice together.
I was like 18.
Yeah, and then he brought her over to the house, and then I never met her. Ends up we having some mutual friends, and then I was just hearing her talk, and I was just like, the things she was saying, the way she was like articulating her words, and the conversation she was having with Zeke, and like kind of like me as like I was jumping in and out. I was like, yo, I need to have her on the podcast. Yeah, I just knew. I was like, I literally asked her before she left. I was like, what day are you free? You're coming on the show. I don't care what you say.
And 4 days later, we're here.
And now we're here.
On the podcast.
Look at that. Unbelievable. So, for those of you who don't know her, explain to the people watching and people listening, what do you do? What is it that you do?
Yeah, so my primary is I do a lot of fine art. I do a lot of graphic design, illustration. I most recently decided to dive into photography. And my goal is to just be a creative director entirely. And so I'm kind of learning more about like every form of art.
Gotcha.
And it's difficult because there's so many different avenues of art, and I'm somebody who wants to learn
all of them,
all of it. But trying to prioritize what to learn, how to learn these things is a process.
For sure.
It's fun because I'm learning so much all the time. But as far as like, I was telling Zeke this the other day, as far as like investing in myself.
Yeah.
I invest in myself in so many different areas. I'll like spend money on this and then spend money on that.
Yep.
And because I want to learn so many different things. And it's like, I sit here sometimes and I think to myself, like, should I just be investing in one thing? Or do I like continue investing in multiple things and learning multiple things at once?
For sure.
But there's no clear answer to that.
Yeah.
Which I've learned.
And off that point already, like, I feel that on the, I'm passionate about art, or I'm passionate about this thing. Should I be putting my time fully into this one thing, or should I be, kind of divvying it up and like learning everything that has to do with about it? And like, I think about that all the time too, with like me personally. I'm like, should I just do music and only music? Like, should I just not do anything else and just go, everything, just that's it?
Yeah.
And like, the way I look at it is like, there is so many things that I want to do and so many things that I want to learn, and like, I just don't want to get to that point where like, who knows when your last day is going to be like on this earth or whatever, like, it's a real thing. Like, I don't want to have to like look back or anything and be like, man, I wish I would have just said, screw it. I'm going to do what I want to do. I want to learn what I want to learn.
Yeah.
I'm going to dive into what I want to dive into. I want to, put my effort into things that I want to put my effort into. Like, even if it's one thing, two things, 5 things, 20 things, like, if they're all under the same umbrella, like, I don't think there's really a problem with that. Like, me personally, that's how I feel.
Yeah. And I like, honestly, just thinking about it right now, like, the type of art that I like to do can incorporate so many different things. So it's like, I have recently incorporated photography into my art. So that's like been a huge basis for my art, which I never did that before. I would always just do technical drawing. And now I incorporate, I got my own like film camera, and I take pictures on my camera, and I incorporate those pictures into my pieces. And then like, what if I want to make that into a video?
Yeah.
And then I need music, and then
Totally.
like there. And I want everything to kind of like come from me, even though I appreciate other people's work so much. Like,
Absolutely.
I want to be the basis of all my work.
Totally. And that's like how we were talking before we even started the show, was like the authenticity part of things is like you being able to like do all the things, and like photography and being able to implement it into your art. Like you're making music for your videos have your art, your photo, like it's all you, like. And I think that's a very important thing, like to have in the integrity of your art, because then it becomes very easily distinguishable of like, this is all her.
Yeah.
Which is like really valuable to me, like, and just like something that I appreciate about artists, creators in general, like when they just really put in the time to make everything themselves.
Yeah.
Like, because it's so hard to do everything
It is.
by yourself. Like, it's just the reality. It's fucking hard to do.
It's very hard. And like, it's hard when you have like visions and then you're not really able to do them yourself because you don't know how. So then that's like my issue with things, is like, that's why I'm learning so much and I want to do so much, because I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I want to do, but I want to do it.
Totally.
Which like, I would also love to hire other people to help. Like, that's definitely a goal in the future, but
that also costs
a lot of money. Like, especially for people that are really talented, you really like that is money. And
facts.
Like, I want to build a website, but I want to work with the coder or whatever to build my website. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now I just designed my website myself, but like, I have a clear vision of how I want it to be. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to learn how to code because that's a bit much.
You gotta like go to school for that shit, and
yeah,
it's a process to learn how to code.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't even imagine building something off ones and zeros and like.
No. No.
I didn't even make it past algebra 2. Like, don't even try me with putting together something with ones and zeros that you create a website based off to do how you want it to operate.
Oh, yeah.
So far beyond me.
Oh yeah. No.
So far beyond me.
Same. Yeah. And I don't know. Even with like my logo, like I've been struggling to figure out what I want my logo to be, which I know logos can change, and I made my logo and I like it. It's cool, but I was like, should I hire somebody to make me a logo? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? Like, I know how to make logos.
Yeah. Well,
but
you're such a talented drawer and designer and graphic design. I've seen the shit you've done on the iPad like briefly, and I'm like, me personally, I'm like, I don't think you need to get someone to make your logo.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, could be cool.
It always could be cool because like wouldn't it's also just like too, like I feel like having almost like the check mark of like, oh yeah, so and so made my logo, or I worked with so and so to do this. And I also feel like that there does come a point to like on what we're talking about of like resourcing out some stuff for your brand or for what you want to do to other people. And even though it might cost money, it is an aspect of investing in yourself. Like if you have the financial means to do so and like you're smart with it and smart with the money, like working with certain people that can do those type of things for you and resource, like then you're tapping into like them as a person, their network, their, circle, like who they work with. And then it's like, then you get to put that under your thing of like, oh, so-and-so did this for me. We worked together, we collaborated on it. And like that type of stuff can open a lot of doors.
Absolutely.
And like, but again, it's like if you have to have the financial means to do so, because that shit is expensive. And like, if you do have the means, like be smart and you can make incredible moves with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have learned too, like being in the art world, like a lot of people are down to help each other. It's like you benefit off me, I benefit off you type of like.
Totally.
But obviously you have to have a relationship with that person.
It's like a value exchange.
Absolutely. And that's been a huge thing for me recently too, is like, okay, I want people of value in my life where like not only do they bring value to my life, but I can bring the same amount of value to their lives.
Totally.
And my dad has always just been like, make sure you surround yourself with like people who are smarter than you.
Yep. If you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get out of the room.
Yeah.
No.
You need to switch rooms.
You need to switch rooms immediately.
Yeah.
No, it's so true, and that's funny because like I was again talking about like that concept with like Zeke and Mike the other day, and like it's something that I just believe in so heavily is like who you surround yourself with, like whether it's in the art world, whether it's in any world, like you can't be the best at a certain.
How are you supposed to learn?
Yeah, like how are you supposed to learn? And like surrounding yourself with like just good people, because I truly believe in it too, is like show me your 5 closest friends and like I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
Like because you really are who you hang out with. Like if you hang out with people who are driven and motivated, creative, like put the work in, or have this, you know, like, and also at the same time are still human, like, but you guys still have human issues and things they go through, like as we all do, but you guys can be there together and help each other out through those type of things to then get better. Like that type of stuff, it has no value. And like just having that type of niche circle, and oh my God, it is so crucial to growth and development in any genre, world, whatever you want to call it that you're doing. And like I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you have that.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm so blessed to have that. Like
exactly, because it is a blessing. It really is.
I have a friend that's super into the crypto world, which I learned so much from them. And like I've been able to invest my money into crypto and like actually learn about it. And then I have a friend who's like super into social media, and she like blew up.
Yeah.
And that's super cool. So that's and then I have like artist friends and stuff, and so it's amazing. And it's very interesting because it's very different than like my household. Like yeah, my family's a driven family, but not to where like I look at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are my inspiration for this type of stuff. Totally. It's like it's a whole different environment, and I'm so excited to move out for that reason, because I'm just like, okay, once I move out, like the productive level, I feel like is just gonna
for sure. Then it's like, then all the cards are really in your hand. Like then when you're out on your own, like it's like the ball's in your court full time now. Yeah. Like it is truly up to you. Like
yeah, you have to make everything work.
You have to make everything work.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. And it's like if you're like low on money, like you need to figure it out.
You need to make some more money. You need to figure out because hey, bills got to be paid. You got to eat. You got to be able to clothe yourself. And like, let me tell you, fucking bills and that type of shit does not care how you feel.
Yeah.
They do not care about your emotions. They don't care if you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Not. Yeah. And when you live at home, you have that like that comfort, that safe space of like
the safety net. Like it's the yeah. Well, I always have a bed, you know. I know that the lights aren't going to turn off, you know.
There's food.
There's food in the fridge, you know.
Washer dryer.
Yep, exactly. Like I'm good. And like that can be a problem.
Yeah. Because
then you can get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like then once you get comfortable and complacent of the situation that you're in that aspect where it's like you know that you can grow and you know that you can do more and do better, but you're like, I'm comfortable. I'm good. I got what I need. Like, that's a real dangerous place to be in.
Yeah. Which that goes for anything. Like, if you feel so comfortable in what you're doing, like, do more. Like, don't ever get comfortable, because you know how people are like, oh, that person peaked in high school.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I didn't peak in high school. I was nowhere near peaking in high school.
God, high school was oh my God, high school was a real interesting time for me.
Absolutely, me too. And I was talking to my girlfriend. She was like, I never want to peak. If I'm at my peak, that means like
you're done progressing.
That means it's over.
Yeah. You're done progressing?
Like, yeah, absolutely not. No peaking.
You're the best you can be?
Yeah.
If you've peaked?
Yeah.
Really? Like, no.
Never.
Peaking doesn't exist. Well,
for some people,
for some people it does. Totally. So
it shouldn't exist, though.
I agree. It shouldn't exist. So I want to give me a little background. We kind of dove straight in, which I love, but give me a background, a little bit of like where you came from. You know, like were you always into art and design and just this creative world? Were you into something else? Was there something that sparked and inspired you to do what you want are doing now? And like, give me a little bit of like a rundown on how you got that.
I haven't thought about this in a long time, but
there we go. That's what I like, tapping into questions that haven't been thought about.
I would say I have been doing art since I was a kid.
Okay.
So I probably went to my first art show when I was in like 2nd grade.
Okay.
Just like through the school. I went to private school.
Private school gang.
Yeah. And then I would just like always draw here and there, whatever. And I think maybe like once I got into high school, maybe like my like sophomore, junior year, I really started tapping into like drawing, a lot of technical drawing. I would draw for people all the time.
All self-taught?
All self-taught. So I've never taken an art class or anything.
Wow.
I do.
Which is impressive because I'm going to interrupt you for 2 seconds and I don't mean to, but I'm going to put obviously all the links to her. God damn it. Well, sorry guys, we're back. Yeah, we back. The camera cut, and then we got into the topic of food,
and then we got
food.
Yeah.
So now spicy buffalo wings and a pulled pork sandwich later. We're back. Oh my lord.
Here we are.
Yep, here we are. Trying to even remember what we fucking picked up or what we fucking left off. That was quite a break, but it was delicious. Oh no, like I was saying, that the fact that you're all self-taught. And then I thought it was like extremely impressive in that I was going to put, obviously all the links to your socials and your website and everything in the bio for the podcast and everything. And like, I want you guys to check her out for sure. Like, I'm asking you to nicely.
Thank you.
Because she's extremely talented for never have taken an art class, just being completely solely, just independent, working on her craft, however, over X amount of years. And like, just the quality of your work is really impressive. I mean, when Zeke showed me, that like collage type piece that you had done on your Instagram, and like then you kind of showed me the in depth of like, oh well, I started with this and I did this and then I digitized this and went to this, and I'm like, it's something that like I can really appreciate because I'm not an artist on that level, like as far as like the graphic design, the fine arts type stuff, and like. It is very similar as far as like what goes into like making a song. Like there's so many elements, layers and elements that people don't know unless someone asks or you break it down to somebody and you're like, holy shit, wow, you kind of like a new appreciation for music, and like very similar way with like art. And your work is just extremely high quality. I stalked your Instagram for quite a while.
Thanks.
I will openly admit that, and went through your work, and You are truly really, really good at what you do.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I definitely would love to take art classes. Absolutely. I love that I haven't taken art classes.
For sure.
But specifically, I want to take like classes geared towards like graphic design.
Gotcha.
And like animation and stuff like that, which I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do some type of graphic design course just so I can like actually know, instead of when I sit there and I'm like, how do I do this, and then having to figure it out, because that happens every time. And I always work on like Illustrator or Photoshop, and it's like I'm not like educated on it the way that I should be, so I want to be, but
kind of just like the more like real technical, like
the technical stuff,
the technical aspect of things, like
so I can actually do what I like envision.
Put what you see in your head fully in effect on
and just be able to instead of like
I can do this
hours.
I know what to do. Totally.
Absolutely. But you also asked me how I got into what I'm doing.
Yes, no, that read my mind. That was the question that I was going to ask.
So I will
to revisit
that.
How you got into what you're doing.
Oh shit, sorry. So anyways, high school, I like started drawing for people all the time. I also started doing hair in high school. So I would braid people's hair all the time. I had like cornrow hair. I would cut people's hair occasionally, just like super random things. And then after high school, I think my senior year of high school, I was talking about how I wanted to pursue art and stuff. But I kind of wanted to do fine art, which is really interesting, like painting and stuff like that. I didn't really think of like graphic design or illustration at all, because all I knew was piece of paper and pencil.
Totally. Give me a quick cliff note breakdown of what is the difference for myself, because I personally have no idea, and I know probably a lot of people that listen to the show have no idea. What is the difference between like art and fine art? Like, is there is there like a line? Like, is it like painting, acrylic type, like that stuff is like fine art, where like not fine art is like more digital, like?
So yeah, there's digital art and then there's fine art. Okay. So fine art is gonna be actually painting on a canvas or drawing with a pencil. Everything that you do on, like on, I don't know, in real life.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Digital art, just iPad.
Gotcha.
Laptop, whatever. But I do a lot of mixed media. So a lot of my pieces start
hand-drawn?
Analog. Yeah, just, piece of paper, whatever. I'll print stuff, whatever I need for that piece, and then I take it digital.
Gotcha.
That's mainly how all my pieces... Actually, that's totally a lie. That's not how all my pieces go. That's how half my pieces go.
Okay.
Yeah, but the stuff that I create for other people is all digital for the most part.
Okay.
I like used to do really big paintings of like pouring paint. I'm trying to think of like how to describe it. Like abstract, like swirly.
Gotcha. Like where they like, you'll see those videos where they put like a canvas on a turntable and they put paint in the middle and it like spins and like creates these crazy like colors and patterns and stuff like that. Gotcha.
I would do that with like cups and stuff though, and then just like swirl it around.
Gotcha.
And so I've done a whole bunch of different forms of art, and right now I'm trying to just dive into like I said, photography, like film type of thing. But at the same time, trying to get into doing hair.
Yeah. So what the hair thing would just because?
Hair is something I've always been very like passionate about, like for myself.
Gotcha. Interesting.
I haven't done my hair too much recently, but that has always been my like staple. Like I haven't been a huge makeup person, but my hair, I don't know. That's like your statement thing. Yeah. I've had a bunch of like different looks with my hair, and people have trusted me enough to like cut their hair. Yeah. Which I don't know how to cut hair, but
they saw the vision.
They can, I don't know. Like I braid people's hair, I style people's hair, I do my own hair all the time. I always have like my hair colored and cut however. And so I wanted to go to cosmetology school out of high school.
Okay, gotcha.
But, oh my gosh, I totally sidetracked. In high school, senior year, I was like, I want to pursue art. And then I decided not to, primarily because one day I was talking to my parents, and they're like, you're not passionate about art. And I think that like really got into my head, because like I was getting ready to go to college and stuff. And I was like, oh, like maybe they're right. Like maybe I shouldn't do art. Like it seems really hard because they made it seem like it was like very hard to do, which it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say it definitely is. It definitely is for sure.
But them not being artists, I think, I don't know. There's like
they can't understand. Of course, of course. I had that was a huge problem for me. Growing up, very similar, was just trying to get my parents to understand like that I wanted to do music for life, like make my living off music and be an artist, when it's like when they grew up in their generation, they were like, what do you mean? You got to get a job, you got to go to college, you got to do this. So like I feel that disconnect thing like very heavily, and like that's also something that like I always try and tell people is like, if it's your passion and it's your passion, you can't let anybody steer you away from that, even when there's people that maybe don't believe in you or feel that may say that they feel like you're not passionate. Well, they're not you know, like they don't know how you feel about a certain subject or like how you feel about a certain thing, and like you just have to do it, and you have to believe in yourself before anybody else will believe in you, and like
absolutely. And I mean, back then I wouldn't say I was as passionate about it. Like I decided to major in business instead of major in art, which I look back at that and I'm like, why did I do that? Like I should have majored in graphic design. What was I thinking? But I mean, I chose business marketing because it felt like the most creative outlet, which it was.
Yeah.
So I got to learn a lot about, the business world and all that good stuff. But I wanted to go to cosmetology out of high school. My parents were like, absolutely not. And I was like, what? No,
Why?
you can get your degree first and then you can do that.
Okay.
Neither of them went to college. And I think that...
But it's the feeling of like they want more for you than what they did, or they want...
Yeah.
Totally. I feel
and
that
I
so
get
heavily.
it. I get it. And like, thankfully, I was so blessed to have gotten my school paid for entirely by like a whole separate individual.
Wow.
And so he put me through school and then graduated debt-free, which is amazing. But then I was debating on going to cosmetology school right after I graduated.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I don't know. Like, because it's 9 to 5 every day.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, basically. Not getting paid. And I'm a huge saver. Love to save my money.
Yeah.
Absolutely save your money.
Yeah. Facts. Be
like,
smart with your money.
Absolutely. That's like one thing that I just like really learned from my dad was like save your money, and it became a huge part of like my
Just who you are now.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I will spend money on experiences. If it's an experience that I want to partake in, I will absolutely spend my money on it.
That's different though. I feel like spending money on experiences, regardless of price, in a way provides. It just is such a different value than like buying something material, like because it's an experience, those are moments, those are memories that you're going to experience, that you're going to create, that you're going to have forever, that is never going to be, a fucking devaluing asset per se. Like, there is no, a memory and experience doesn't lose value.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
you have it forever.
You
And
always
then
look back on that.
You always look back on it. You can take it and learn something from it, or it's just something that you hold near and dear, and like that's what matters in life, really, is like the experiences, the things that you do, the memories that you create. Like, you don't die with money, like you
die with your memories.
You die with your memories. Like, as cheesy as it sounds, it's really true, and it's something that I really believe in. Like, the whole, like how you just said, spending money on experiences. Like, spend money on experiences and don't spend money on, like,
just all the
foo-foo. Foo-foo, lame, material,
Foo-foo
lame
lame
shit. Foo-foo lame shit. Yeah, no, seriously. And like, I get it. People have their things where people like to buy high fashion.
Yeah,
or they like to do.
I'm one of those people still, but I know like I shouldn't.
Yeah, and like, as long as like, it's a balance. It's just a balance.
Everything's balance.
Everything
Life
is a balance. Yes.
Find a balance. Always. You have to, like, find the balance of, like, life is about the pleasurable things as well, and like, doing what makes you happy. If buying some new things or whatever, like, makes you feel good, and makes you feel good when you go out because you look good, look good, feel good type thing. Like, there's a balance between that and like spending money on experiences, and it's just like you said, life is just all a balance. But don't just buy shit to buy shit. Like. No. I've done that. So, I think we
all have. I think we all have at some point.
Everybody just has their things that they like. Like, my dad likes stereos, mom likes purses. Yeah. I went through a purse phase. Like,
everybody has their tick,
My phase right now is just investing in different forms of art stuff that will like help me progress.
Exactly.
And that's the best that I can.
That's the best sort of investment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Into yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, so. I love that, and I'm just like it. It's so refreshing to hear, and I love it because, like we said at the beginning of the episode, I literally just met you like a couple days ago. Yeah. But like, it's one of those things where it's like you feel like you've known someone longer just because I really connect with your mindset and like the way you think about things and like the conversations we had, off camera, off mic, and like it's just refreshing to hear that there is people out there, that think this way, that feel that way, and that like are truly passionate about their passion, their art, what they want to do, like how they want to do it. like, and you, like how you said earlier, like having the self-awareness to be like, oh, well, maybe I don't want to go pay someone to do something right now, but I know in the future that's what I want to do. And like having a clear vision and having a clear goal is important, and so important, because it's part of the process. It's the process. Like, you know, you can't, it's not going to be 100%, 120 miles an hour from the start. Like, you got to be able to get there.
Yeah.
And like the times in between, that's like, you got to be able to have the self-awareness and like just being aware of like, hey, I know that I'm not there right now, but man, when I get there, I know exactly what I want to do and how I'm going to execute that when I am able to do those things.
Absolutely. And like the journey on the way, like I think a thing for me recently, there's been a lot of things for me recently that I've been learning and realizing, whatever. A big thing is like patience.
Yeah.
Because
patience is a virtue.
Not super patient.
Me either. Holy shit. I've struggled with patience my whole life.
It really like sets you back when you're impatient, because our generation in general is like so like instant gratification.
Totally. Well, I mean, we live in that world where it's like you post a picture, you get instant likes, instant comments, it's just everything is now instant internet. You can look up anything you want. It's instant. You know, you want to know anything. It's instant. YouTube, like we just, like you said, we very much live in the instant generation. So
especially being on social media, being able to see other people, artists, whatever, it can get difficult sometimes because it like fuels your like impatience-ness. You know?
No, because you're looking at people that are where you want to be, and it's like,
yeah, but
I just want to be there already, and it's like it is hard to realize, like, you know, like I'm in my journey.
Absolutely.
I'm where I am supposed to be right now. For a reason. This is where I'm supposed to be currently.
And like you should look at those people as like inspiration to be like, and study them.
Yes.
How did they get there? If that's where I want to be, like, how did they get there? How can I get to that point in my own way?
100%.
You know?
Don't look at it as it like you said, use it as motivation and inspiration. Don't look at it as it like
comparison.
Yes. Don't look at it as a comparison, and that you guys are, you know, apples to apples type thing, because it's like, I mean, social media only shows the highlights of, you know, somebody's life. So it's like you could see someone that you're like gonna want to compare yourself to. It's like, they may be 5, 6, 10 years older than you. They might have like had hardships or whatever, or maybe had whatever circumstances that nobody has ever seen ever, because that stuff doesn't get posted on social media rarely, that got them to where they are. So it's like, you can't compare yourself to people like that.
And like everybody moves at a different pace.
Yes.
Everyone moves at a different pace. Like,
it's your journey.
You're ready when you're ready.
Yes.
What just happened?
It was the AC.
Oh. I was like, I hear better.
That's what it was.
Okay, sorry. I don't even know.
No, we were just talking about the comparison in social media.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just like moving at your own pace, and like really embracing where you're at in your journey.
Yes.
Is like so important. Oh, like I was saying, like you're ready when you're ready. Like nobody can make you be ready. Like you have to figure that all out on your own. And like, I mean, I'm 23 years old and I'm nowhere near where I want to be, right?
Yeah.
And it's so easy for me to see other people that are 23 that are like creative directors already. I'm like, I'm so jealous. But it's like, no, like I just figured out 2 months ago where I really want to go with my life. Like patience is virtue for sure.
Patience is a virtue. That was something that my grandparents taught me ever since I was a little kid. Patience is a virtue, son.
And working hard. Like there's so much that goes into it. Art is such a crazy world.
It is. No,
all different
aspects.
Medias,
all aspects. It really is. It is. It's a very different world from a corporate world, from a sports world, from anything. It's all in its own lane. They all have similarities. They all have things that connect them, but it is vastly,
Oh, yeah.
vastly different than a lot of things.
Absolutely. And a lot of it, like, as far as myself, like, I freelance a lot. I don't know if you would freelance.
Yeah, so that was...
Well, that is what you do.
Yeah,
You
that's literally,
freelance.
that is pretty much what I do. And that was going to be my next question is, like, what is, like, some of the things that you've done or, like, projects that you've worked on, and, like, to kind of give people, you know, an idea, too, of, like, some of the things that you've worked on or created and, like, stuff like that. Because you have a, on your main page, at least, like, your actual Instagram, like, you have a pretty good following.
Yeah.
So it's, like, you know...
Yeah, I have done a multitude of things. I have just like done like, you know, random little drawings for people. That was more so before I was getting paid for anything.
Gotcha.
Once I started getting paid for stuff, it was more digital work. So I started doing logos, which logos are personally my least favorite. I will do a logo if I really like it.
Yeah.
But those are the hardest for me. I've sold like my big pouring paintings.
Gotcha.
I've customized shoes. I've designed stickers, designed and printed stickers. I've like designed little like lighters.
Oh, gotcha.
I've designed, oh my gosh, I don't know, a cover art.
Gotcha. Okay.
A whole bunch
Just
of
a whole
different things.
things.
Yeah, there's not like one thing that's like my specialty.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I don't really have like a niche.
Yeah.
Which
You're an artist.
I would like to have one because I see a lot of, this is the whole comparing thing. Like,
Yeah.
I see a lot of artists that have like their like niche.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Gotcha.
And I think that like I'm definitely on my journey. Like, you know, I might be like my brand itself might be like the niche where I can just do multiple things.
Exactly. Man, I feel that so heavily because that's exactly how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel. Is like, I don't feel like I was made to make a certain genre of music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I was meant to do one thing. Like, I feel like that is my niche, is the ability to do multiple things.
Yeah.
And just that are all you, that are all involve you, that are all done by you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's all your brand, your name. But
Yeah.
like, that is in a sense your niche, because like a lot of people can't do that, you know. And it is a blessing to be able to like be able to do different things and like people enjoy them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's like people just want one thing out of you. So
Well, and also like, I don't know, I've always heard people being like, just pick one thing, perfect that.
Yep.
Like, and
that's not the day I feel like that's just not the age we live in anymore.
That is true.
You know, like, at least that's how I feel. Is like, I just feel like in 2022 and the new age is just like going on in the future. Like, I just feel like doing one thing, I don't know, isn't enough anymore. Like,
yeah.
and like, I encourage people to branch out and to try new things and to like, that are still them, but just to, you know, do different things.
I like that. Yeah, definitely.
Because my biggest thing too, and like what I've said on multiple episodes, and just like, me personally and people that I know, and I just don't want people to pigeonhole themselves. Because I feel like if you pigeonhole yourself and you do one thing for a certain amount of time, it becomes maybe that like you're not even wanting to do that one thing. You're just doing it because people are expecting you to do that thing.
That's all you know
Because that's
how to do, too.
that's all you've known how to do. And then what happens when you're like, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to try something else. And then not being able to maybe receive the same sort of love and appreciation or support on you trying to do something else because all you've ever done is one thing.
Yeah.
Like, I like don't want people to get in that position, and like I don't want myself or anybody that I know that's a creative or an artist to get in that position, because then I feel it becomes detrimental to your creativity, your passion. Like, I feel like you can lose your passion if you do that.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know. That's just like, that's personally how I feel. Like maybe a philosophical, you know, mantra, whatever. Like,
I actually really like that. I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah, like, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because, I mean, I'm always switching the direction
Yeah.
that I want to go in. Always. Like, but I can always.
But it's still you.
Yeah, it's
like,
still me, and I can always do the other things that I know how to do too.
Exactly.
Like I've just been able to learn so much, and I mean, as far as freelancing goes, like I love that people hit me up for the most random things.
Yeah.
Like it makes me so grateful because I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool that somebody's hitting me up to make them shoes, and then somebody else is hitting me up to design like a logo for them.
Totally.
And I don't know.
Because then I feel when it gets to that point and people are hitting you up for different things that you do, it becomes people then value you and your talent and your abilities to do things well in general, knowing that like, hey, she can execute shoes, so I know that I can hit her up and she can do a cover art for me, or stickers, or a lighter, or art, and she can nail it, because that's just, you know, what I've seen, and I feel comfortable being able to hit her up to do those type of things. And because you do those type of things, you know, like rather than you just do one thing and then I feel like then people just value you for that one thing, just that.
Absolutely.
And I just feel like it becomes a real sticky situation and kind of a peculiar predicament.
Yeah.
As a creator, because, you know,
absolutely.
like, and excuse me, I burped. Because I see a lot of artists post this, like in the music world, where they're like, you know, oh, I hate that artists are now referred to the term as creators. And I'm like, I get that. I do. Like, but I feel like it's also an opportunity.
Yeah.
To like, because then if you become a creator, like, you're a creator, you can create anything that you want to create.
Yeah.
So it's like, I maybe encourage people to not look at it as with such a negative connotation.
Okay.
And be like, that's just kind of how it is, you know? Like, again, you kind of got to roll with the times. Like,
absolutely.
If we're creators, okay, we're creators.
Then let's embrace that.
Let's embrace that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because maybe I was an artist on my Instagram bio and my business page, and now, but people don't look at it as an artist, they look at it as a creator now. Okay. It is what it is.
Yeah,
that's how people want to look at it. Let's roll with that. Now I'm a creator. Let's create.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like, it sounds so fucking cheesy, but like,
that's what it is.
That's what it is, and I just want people to embrace that, like you said. You know, like just.
I didn't even know that was a thing going on.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of artists post about it. Like people, you know, that are like, oh, you know, I hate that we live in the age, like, you know, where you got to be content creators, you got to be creators, you got to do TikTok, you got to do this. I'm like, I get it, but that's just the reality. So why not just embrace it and fucking do it?
You're gonna fall behind if you don't.
Do it, because that's just where the world is moving. You know, TikTok didn't exist 5 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't even know. TikTok is so new, but it's like platforms like that. You know, like it just changes society as a whole of to what people are consuming and what people consider artists, creator, whatever you want to call them. You know, so it's just like and just embrace that and just roll with it, and then just do it. But do it to you. Do it how you want to do it. Like, there is no rule just because there's something else or there's a new term or definition. Like, doesn't mean you have to change you and what you do and how you do it. Like, maybe someone just wants to call you something differently now rather than
a creator.
Yeah, you know,
I
like
creator.
Yeah, I do too. Cool. Like, that's what, like, sometimes when people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a creator.
Yeah.
Because, like, yes, I'm an artist, but I also do this, and I also do this, and I also create this, and I also do.
Yeah, it's very broad.
Yeah, so it's like maybe I am a creator.
You are a creator,
and as are you. You know, because we create. Creators. Just creators. Just
creators.
That's definitely gonna be one of the titles of the episode name. It's gonna be like in all caps, creators. Yeah. So I also want to ask you, too, because this is also. So it's also a big deal for the podcast. You are the first woman that we've ever had on the show.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So you're the first.
So amazing.
You're the first we've ever had on. And I want to ask you from your point of view. Like, for what you do and just in the space in general, and like, do you feel that, you know, like, you help other women, maybe girls that want to do what you do or that look up to you, because like I said, you have a good following, so there's got to be people that follow you that are looking at you like, hey, I maybe I kind of want to do what she's doing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing how she's moving, like she's kind of inspiring me. Like, do you feel that you're playing a role like in the creator world, art world for women and to help it move forward? Because I mean, there's so many amazing artists and painters and architects and everything that are women, and but sometimes I feel like women don't get enough credit in especially the creative world. Because I mean, look at most fashion designers are primarily men. Most artists were primarily men, but there have obviously been a lot of like women breakouts and that have just are superstars now, but it's like I do feel like there is a bit of an imbalance per se. So I want to get your perspective as
that goes.
That goes. Just because, like I said, you are the first woman that we've ever had on the show. So I am curious on your.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I was talking about this a little bit ago, but as far as networking goes and stuff, connecting with people, I have found it to be a little more difficult since I am a woman in comparison, because I have side by side been with one of my friends who is male, and he has people coming up to him all the time. If he's holding a camera and I'm holding a camera, they're coming up to him.
Yeah.
Which I was oh, interesting. Because I had never really experienced that. I feel like I've been slightly sheltered because I've been very to myself in that aspect. But as far as also helping other women, I've had a really hard time connecting with women all my life. I've only had 3-4 girlfriends. I was always the girl with all the guys.
Gotcha.
So that was a huge thing for me. The whole time I was scared to talk to girls because I was I don't know, they're kind of mean. And I don't know if I come off kind of mean too. Guys are a lot easier to talk to. But recently we're simple creatures, lots.
By nature.
Yeah. Recently I have connected with some super special woman in my life now within the past couple of months, and us being able to create together and build a team different than me building a team with
a bunch of dudes.
Totally. Or
it's
just
a different
another
dichotomy
male,
completely.
And it's so cool because we emotionally connect so much, and then we're able to connect on a creative level that goes along with us emotionally connecting with each other. But as far as my following goes, I guess, and inspiring women, I haven't really tapped into that. I kind of just I'm not interactive, honestly.
Gotcha.
It's kind of just I post and then that's it, and then I keep moving. But I would like to be maybe a little more interactive in the future, but it's kind of just I feel like I'm doing so much all the time that it's a little difficult for me personally.
Juggling a lot of different things.
To do that. I made one piece. I drew a piece. It was I wanted to create a coloring book of just nostalgic do you know what Invader Zim is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that was a show on Cartoon Network. And back when we were kids, it's a little dark, but it was my favorite. And I created a page. I drew a page of it, and I put that out there and was if you guys color it in, send it back. That's the only thing that I've ever done as far as being interactive, and I had girls send it back to me, which was super special.
Totally.
And I really liked that. I should do more of that.
Yeah, because then you get to you're connecting with people, and I feel like that is a powerful tool that we hold.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love when my favorite artists connect with people.
Yeah.
Connect with me, you
totally.
know? So yeah, that I've never really thought about that, honestly. I kind of just do my thing, and then
there you go. That's what
keep
we're all
moving.
about here is asking questions and sparking things that maybe people haven't thought about in certain ways.
Yeah. I think interactive content for me personally is a little awkward.
No, I get that. That was a big hurdle for me.
Yeah.
To get over.
Yeah.
Was like interactive content.
I think that's something I probably have to just get over because none of my content isn't like.
It is definitely it's definitely just something that you just gotta like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
get over and kind of realize like, I mean, you don't have to do it, but like I feel like, you know, I have to do it in the sense because where it's just like you want to be able to connect and have people engage and like.
It grows your brand a lot too. I feel
it absolutely does.
Like you get diehard fans.
No, totally.
You do that.
You get real fans.
Yeah.
Like you get real fans of you, like fans of they'll support you in what you do, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Like, and it's super valuable for sure. But I'm glad I asked that. I really wanted to ask that. And Milo, hey, easy on the chew toy there, fella. For those of you who are watching and listening, that is my dog, Milo. Milo, hey, come here. Come here. Jesus criminy. Cute guy. So, I want to ask you a question as well. What do you think, like, these are questions I kind of ask each episode to everybody. Number one, what do you think is your, what I call is the secret sauce? In the aspect of like, what do you think's been the thing or things that has gotten you to where you're at now? Just from basically, you're like, I'm going to give this a try, to getting paid for your work and doing, you know, being able to do these things, working with brands, being on sets and stuff like that. You know, you are doing it.
Yeah.
Like, even though you're not where you want to be,
Yeah.
and like neither am I or anybody, like, you know, just like, but to where you've gotten now and to be doing what you're doing, what do you think has been like the biggest thing?
Yeah.
Like your secret sauce, as I call it, as I ask everybody, that's been like the defining factor.
I think as for myself, definitely saying yes to everything for a long time. I think that has been a huge thing for me. I have said yes to so many projects I didn't know I could do until I did it.
Yeah.
And that is like, I've been able to build my portfolio through saying yes. And just trying new things, like always trying new things, always learning, like always striving to learn. Within the past like 6 months or so, I have been a little burnt out from saying yes though.
See,
you know,
yeah,
you learn your value as an artist, as an individual, and you're like, okay, like I can't say yes to everything anymore. I have to pick and choose, because
you have to know your value.
Yeah, it's like it's a huge thing, and I don't know how it's gone for you, but charging people's so difficult for me. Like,
God, this. You're like reading my mind right now of like the question. Yeah. Continue. I'll ask what I want to, but yeah, continue. This is crazy.
Yeah, I have like more recently realized my value in those senses where it's like I'm no longer going to charge less than what I feel my value is worth.
Yep.
They could find somebody else if they really need that done. My work is unique to me, and if they want something from me, then they'll pay for it. And I'm not going to charge anybody a crazy amount of money. Like
you're charging them what you feel that you're worth.
Yeah, and I want it to be reasonable for me and that party. So it kind of depends who I'm doing work for as well. But because I do want to make it work for people that can't pay as much as like, you know, a corporation would pay me.
Totally.
So it all depends. But yeah, I mean, I literally would never say no to projects, like ever. And then within the past couple months, it's been like, I just don't like saying no in general. It's been a struggle for me, I think, my whole life. Like if somebody asks me to hang out, I will always say yes type thing. Somebody asked me to do something for them. If somebody asked me to braid their hair just like while we're having girl time, I don't really want to all the time, but I'll be like, okay, sure. But yeah, I mean, recently I've been like, okay, saying no
is a very valuable skill that you need to learn that you must have, especially in our industries.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. You have to have the ability to say no, just like you said, because if you just say yes to everything, then you don't determine your value. Someone else determines your value.
Yeah.
And
there's
especially when you're like a freelance artist or you're doing like, you set your value.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I charge. This is for my work.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
One time I had a guy ask me to braid his hair, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be X amount of money, and he was like, really? He was like, it's only gonna take like 45 minutes. It shouldn't be that much. And I'm like, how do you know how long it's gonna take?
Yeah.
Do you do hair? Like, no.
How do you know?
And I don't even know. I was just like, well, no.
Yeah, well, no.
Absolutely not. I don't know.
No,
You teach people your value.
You
You
do.
teach people how to treat you.
and you teach people your value by saying no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You really do. Like, I literally had an episode called Just Say No
Oh, yeah.
on this exact same topic with my buddy who was a photographer who had this very same issue of, and I don't mean issue in a negative way at all, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
it can be an issue.
It can be. Just where he was like, first starting or anything like this before he got to where he was, just saying yes, to everything, and then, would end up doing free shoots because he didn't know how to say no, and like people not paying him for what he's worth and just the value of what he does.
But what's like so beautiful about that is like that is why he got to where he is, because he was saying yes to those things, and now he knows how to say no. Now he's confident in himself and his value.
Correct.
And like that is what I have found within myself as well.
Totally.
But if I would have said no from the jump to a lot of projects, I wouldn't be where I am.
No.
Like it's just been part of my experience, and like you said, like that's where you asked me what's been your thing, like your secret sauce, and it's like literally I just would say yes to everything and try everything, even if I knew how to do it or not. Yeah. I would figure it out.
No, I do agree with you, especially at the beginning, in the start.
You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like also like that's just how I feel. It's trial by fire a lot of the times, like sometimes you gotta get fucked or get screwed over or realize, wow, maybe I shouldn't have said yes to this, to be able to gain the skill and the ability to say no, and then really like start determining what you're worth.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, at the beginning I feel the same way. Like, you got it. Just, you need it? I'm done. Let's do it. Like, because then it's experiences, like you said. Like,
absolutely.
Then you're like, kind of figure out, okay,
I like that.
I like this. I don't like this. I'm really good at this. I really suck at this. Yeah. I'm kind of okay at this. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, and no, I do agree.
You learn so much.
You do, and that's funny because I haven't really looked at it that way because I've always been the like, you gotta learn how to say no type guy, just because like I've been fucked over so many times like that. But again, it's a balance.
See, and my thing is I haven't been screwed over really by saying yes.
Gotcha.
I've pretty much, I mean, there's one time it took me 2 months to get paid or something. And I was like very annoyed by that. And I was like, okay, I have to have people sign contracts from now on because this isn't okay. Or like,
totally,
give me a deposit.
Yeah, I was gonna say deposit.
I don't know why I said contract. I meant to say deposits. Yeah, that's what I started doing. But anyways, I haven't really had any experiences like that, and I still struggle with saying no. Yeah. Like, that's still a struggle of mine just because I want to make everything work for everyone.
Totally.
I try to say yes to, like, I still do try to say yes to, most projects that get thrown my way, but I have learned how to say no.
Yes.
I can say no when I really am like, okay, this is either not for me, I don't have time for this.
Or I know I just can't do it.
I can't do it. Yeah, whatever it might be. Like, I've learned how to do it, even though I don't like to really do it that much.
Yeah, but that's
just
that's part of it, though. Sometimes you got to do things that you don't really want to do, or
like painting stuff for your family.
No,
That's the hardest. Is my family and friends are like, "Will you draw me something? Can you paint this?" I'm like, "Will you give me $1,000?"
Yeah, right. Just because you're my family, I mean.
Doesn't mean I have to. Like, I want to do this. It's not that I want to do it less, but like they're probably asking me for something that I really don't like doing.
No, totally.
And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, I will, but because you're my family.
Family. Oh,
but,
man. No, I love that. I really haven't. Now that I think about it,
you haven't tapped into it from the other perspective.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't, and I agree. I do.
Yeah.
I really do, 100%.
Well, because a lot of people, because you hear that all the time, like, you know, learn how to say no. That's a huge thing because people say yes all the time. But like I said, I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't say yes to all the things I said yes to. But as long as you know how to say no.
Yes.
That's what's important. If you don't know how to say no, that's your issue.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Which, we know how to say no now.
So we straight. We good.
Yeah.
We good.
We solved that problem.
Yeah, hey, on to the next. Oh my God.
What's the new problem?
Jinx, you want me to show that? Fuck. Seriously. Yeah. What's the next? Oh. So my next question. That was a great answer. That really was a great answer. Now I'm like sitting here thinking. But my next question is, what does the future look like for you?
Yeah.
Where do you want to take your thing, your brand, your art, you as an individual, you as an entity? What does the future look like for you?
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure.
Which is okay.
I can tell you that I definitely want to get into creative direction.
Gotcha.
I love being in charge. I absolutely love it. Of projects, like I'm a huge perfectionist.
Quality control.
Yeah, like, and I don't have the skill set to do all the things that I envision. So to have a team behind me where it's like this person does this person does that, and I'm able to like direct that seems so amazing to me. Like, so that is like definitely my main goal. And I think as far as that goes, like it could be with like music video shoots or concerts. Like I really want to work in music. I want to incorporate my art with music. And I'm currently, since I've never had like professional job in music or art, I have to like kind of go in from the bottom as far as like music management, something I kind of want to get into too. It's the most interesting world to me, and music is my favorite type of art. Even though I do my own art, music is like it for me. So yeah, I've been like assisting on shoots, which I've never like seen how professional it is. And so it's been like super amazing to do that. But I like am gonna continue assisting until I like continue to learn more. I'm literally learning so much right now. But I'm specifically...
That's what it's all about. We're both in the stages where we're really just learning. Learning.
Absolutely. And I, like we were talking about, like I learn under structure like so well. Like I need structure in my life, and I love freelancing, and that's the only thing that I do right now. But within the past couple of months, I've been like, okay, I want to get a job under a company. I don't want to work for a company necessarily like forever because I want to do my own stuff. But I do feel like it would be really beneficial for myself. I always had the mindset of like, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to work for myself. Like, I'm never going to work for somebody else. But within the past like couple months, I'm like, I could learn so much from working for somebody else in what I want to do. And
there's a lot of value in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like sometimes we have to drop our ego and like...
Yeah, it's been a whole lot of that recently for me, is literally just like, dropping my ego and being like, okay, like I have to start as an assistant because I don't know how to professionally take pictures or professionally style people or do hair or whatever, but like I've been able to learn that as I'm on set. And so I'm like, okay, I can do all these things eventually as I continue to learn. But I'm trying to dive more into the concert scene right now.
Gotcha.
Because like I said, I just
love
love music, and I love concerts. Concerts are like my happy place. If somebody wants to like give me the best night of my life, like take me to a concert I want to go to, I will have such an amazing time. They're like euphoric for me. So
as they're designed to be.
Absolutely.
As they're designed to be.
I
They're
know.
designed to be that escape, that euphoric experience that, it's your escape from reality moment,
Yeah, definitely.
You're just in the moment at the max, like.
Absolutely. I also kind of want to get into like concert photography a little bit. I want to do everything.
Yeah, you want to do a lot of things, which is good.
But yeah, so that's a goal. I have a lot of goals, and like I want to start my own brand. I am 75% sure that I'm going to go to cosmetology school.
Gotcha.
So I think I'm just going to full send, do it. And then just so I can have the license and then know how to correctly like dye people's hair, because I really like doing hair.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to keep going with my art. I want art to more so be a thing for me that I do for myself.
Gotcha.
I want it to be a hobby. I don't really want it to be me actually drawing and stuff like that. Like I kind of want that to just be a me thing.
Gotcha.
That people can like appreciate, I guess. Maybe sell prints. I haven't sold any prints really. It just hasn't been my thing. So maybe like do some of that.
You want to do a lot of things.
Yeah, it's hard to
pick,
prioritize, honestly. But I think I am doing a good job of it.
I think you are.
I think I'm figuring it out finally.
By what I can see, I think you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm figuring it out. It makes me happy. I'm in the process of designing a magazine right now as well. So that's just going to incorporate a lot of my art, and then
anything about the magazine you can give those who are listening a little bit of a preview on?
Well, it will probably be around like 40 pages.
Okay.
And it's going to be a whole bunch of like photography and art separate from each other, and then photography and art incorporated with each other. I've set up shoots with certain people because I want like different personalities to be a part of different people to be a part of my magazine. But one of my really good friends, Ari, who I met a couple months ago, we've been working on like shoots together, which has been really fun. So she's going to be a big part of my magazine as well.
What's the title? Or if you can't say, but.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
But eventually, this is going to be
ETA on arrival time this year, next?
Probably next year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think I'm going to utilize this whole year to just
refine.
Yeah, absolutely, and like keep doing my shoots and keep doing my art. I've seen so much growth within myself within the past year, and I like want to make sure that I'm where I want to be.
Yeah.
When I finish it, and so yeah, and then another thing I'm working on that I can talk about a little more is it's called the Heartbreak Journal.
Okay.
It's I made a collage of it. I'll show you after this. Yeah. It's like it's gonna be the title page. Basically, as a kid, I was like super big into like all the little like Coke or have you heard of like the Coke or Pepsi like fill-in books? No. Okay. So there used to be like Coke or Pepsi, and you would fill it in. It would be like, what did you do today? Like, who do you like? Like,
okay.
Silly girl things like that. And so I want to make this journal into like an outlet for people who are like going through a breakup, where it's just like it's very intentional, and there's like prompts kind of, and just like words of encouragement. It's going to be an interactive type of journal. I'm going to incorporate my art. I'm going to like put stickers into it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It'll be based for like younger audience, but I think like since I loved that so much as a kid, and also like having gone through breakups, I didn't really realize how much like writing my feelings down
Helps.
could help me.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I just this is gonna be something that's gonna be like more in the future.
Yeah.
Just because I want it to be really well done.
Yeah.
And
totally.
I definitely have to hire people for this project, but I'm working on it myself.
Yeah.
And trying to write for it and like create little stickers and stuff like that for
Damn.
it, which I'm excited for. Which my magazine will also be interactive. My magazine will be fairly cool, which I'm excited for.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the journal and the mag.
Yeah.
I want a copy of the mag.
Yeah.
Like, you want
Table
it?
book.
Yeah.
Well, table mag.
Table mag.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm really excited. I want. Whenever they come out, let me know how much I'll buy one each.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we're gonna start wrapping things up here. I'm gonna ask you one more question. As you can see, for those of you who are watching, we've had to turn the lights on because we've been going for a minute. The sun was up and now the sun is down.
Yep.
But I'm gonna ask you a final question before we finish things off here. And I ask everybody this every episode. One life advice. If you had to give one piece of life advice for anybody that's watching, that's listening, anyone that's a fan of you, a follower of you, people who are going to follow you after this, what is one piece of life advice that you would give to somebody?
I would say, just because this is something that I have really been like advised in learning, is like do a lot of reflecting. Like I feel like that has been such an important part of like my everyday life, is like reflecting. Just because that's going to help you in the future with like your decision making, if you reflect on the decisions you've made and like your everyday, I don't know, like I think it's an important part of life, and you're able to like build perspectives off reflecting. Like when you actually sit there and think about your feelings, think about your day, think about where you want to be, it's just like reflecting and then like moving forward. You know,
always got to move forward.
Always moving forward, like no matter what, because it gets hard some days.
Life is hard. Life is a hard thing.
Gets really difficult, and I've had a difficult time moving forward for sure. Some days where I'm like, oh my gosh, today feels so awful. But then I'm like, if I sit there and reflect on everything I've done, if I reflect on like why I feel the way I feel, like I'm able to just like move forward. I mean, a lot comes with just like reflecting and stuff.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean, I think just like that, and like taking that and moving forward.
Yep.
Constantly. It's your everyday little
steps.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I personally love that. We've never gotten that answer ever of reflecting, and I think it's really important because reflecting just allows you, as it is, to reflect and then grow and realize maybe the mistakes that you made or things you could do better, or just how your day in and day out goes, and then like you said, just keep moving forward.
Yeah, and like you just said, like grow. Like you're able to grow so much when you really like tap into you and your life and the people around you, and just like, I don't know, I've obviously just been thinking a lot like in general, and so it's really helped me tap into where I want to be and how I'm going to get there, and on my bad days like how to move forward. And so I think that's like an important part that like people don't really,
that they need to do more. I agree.
They need to do more.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that was a great answer. I really do love that.
Thank you so much.
Now we're gonna move on to the very final question, the good old 7 on 7's song of the day.
Song of the day.
What is your song of the day?
Song of the day is going to be Sad Girls Love Money remix with Molly, Kali Uchis, and someone else that I can't remember.
Well, Sad Girls Love Money. You guys heard it here. That's song of the day. You guys need to go stream that, listen to it, run it up. Listen
So
to it
good.
while you walk, while you drive your car, while you're in the gym.
Yeah.
Do whatever you
vibe
need
out.
to do to it. Vibe out to it.
I can hear it in my head right now.
I know, same. Ever since you played it, I was like, shit, I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, it's great. Great
Oh,
song.
love it. Well, guys, thank you so much, Liana.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you. This was amazing. This was such a fantastic episode. I'm so glad that you came on and we finally got to talk, even though like I said, from the moment we started, I was like, I knew that I had to have you on, and I'm glad that we made it happen. I had a fantastic time. I'm so excited for everything that you're going to do and that you're doing, and the mag and the journal book. I'm excited for it all. Just thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys, to those who are watching, to those who are listening. And remember, if you guys enjoyed this episode, to share the show, please. Once again, I'll put all the links to her Instagram, website, all the links she provides me, I will put in the description in the podcast and on YouTube as well. And that's going to fucking do it.
Yep, that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Nah, thank you. Phenomenal episode. Once again, thank you guys, and we will see you guys next time. Fantastic. Love it.
Amazing.
Fantastic.